Hey y'all, how's it going? Okay, I'm just gonna cut to the chase right here before we get into the podcast. Look, this is super late, and the reason why is because the audio was just completely screwed up. Noah's audio, his mic was picking up sounds from his headset somehow. Joseph's audio was clipping, like, beyond reason. I had to do a ton of editing on that to fix it, and my mic, I don't know if it's dying or something or what, but you might hear in the video, it is unreasonably clipping. I don't know what it is. Like, Joseph's, I was able to fix. Mine, I just couldn't. So, I don't know, maybe at some point later on, if it's worth it, I'll remaster this and maybe fix it for good once I've developed the skills for it, because I'm still learning. But this podcast, man, I can't... nothing goes right, ever. Ever. Not once. So, yeah, I'm sorry. The audio is the best I can do. Just enjoy, I guess. Hello and welcome to the Technical Miracle Podcast, Episode 7. My name is Jake. Joining me, as always, is Joseph and Noah. Unlike a fourth person who he seems to be busy all the time. His name is Dean. He's doing his work. He's swamped with paperwork right after playing, 10 hours of Genshin Impact. So, there's that. Joining me is Joseph, as you've heard right there, and Noah. Welcome to the show.
Joseph would make, a great, murderer. Because he would, go to the court, and they'd be like, were you at this location? And he'd be like, I do not recall.
Was I in the location, or was I not? You answer me.
Did you in fact know this person here? I don't recall.
I don't recall.
I don't recall.
After I told him,
is this
Joseph,
or is this not your book of gum, sir? That could be anyone's.
I don't recall. That could be anybody's.
All Joseph does is clink glasses and chew bubblegum on the podcast. It takes me hours to go over the entire waveform and just delete all his stupid stuff that he just puts into every podcast. I just hear... So if you ever wonder, wow, this podcast doesn't sound half bad, it's because I spend extra time editing his crap out.
He does put a lot... Jake puts a lot of effort into this podcast.
You're just saying that to make me feel better. In reality, you think it's trash.
Well, no, because sometimes I'll mute my mic and then because we're recording with Audacity, I'll just start speaking to Jake, like he's gonna edit the video and then hear what I'm saying to him. And I'll troll him like that once in a while.
That's so mean.
Jake is a really good friend. Best podcast editor ever.
Nope.
Nobody else could edit out all those lip smacks. All those gummy boys.
Remember when Dane would just take the microphone and just rub it between his fingers for a 30 seconds straight?
That was an entire segment on the last podcast.
That was fun.
What kind of...
At least it was consistent.
Let's see what happens when we put the mic inside of a blender. Whoa.
I told him to stick it in his mouth, and he still didn't do that.
He didn't do that. What a little cum slut.
My favorite is the creaking chair.
Yeah.
And he has all those cans around his room, too.
Every time my brother, reaches across to do anything in his room, he just knocks over shit. The first week he got home, he knocked over, 2 glasses. One of my good glasses, well, he says it's his, but I use it all the time. It's the Coca-Cola glass. Very nice.
He'll reach to grab something within 5 inches, and it'll sound like... It'll sound like a fucking Irish tap dance or something.
He's fucking swinging his arm just across, a lake of fucking empty, cans.
And usually glassware and dishes. But he doesn't make as many clanking noises as Joseph somehow.
Yet somehow, Joseph just has the one glass and the one spoon.
Because I accidentally bump into it when I'm, trying to stealthily use my tongue to get a good grip and it up.
Okay.
Hold on, I lost the cap now to this thing because I was pretending to be thinking. There we go.
Anyway,
So, let's start off with what games you've played.
No, I have a better idea. Why don't we, Noah, what was that thing you were telling me that your mom was using Zoom, and,
Yeah, so,
What?
Usually I'll call, get a call from the parents and just, checking in, how are you doing, You getting your food? Are you eating? that sort of stuff. But my mom
Wait. So your parents are Zooming you instead of texting you?
Let me let the story breathe. Let me bring you there. All right, I'm your guide on this journey of embarrassment. So, my mom got the idea. Well, she's having to do all these like Zoom meetings with people at her job. But she thought, let's do like a Zoom meeting. But she had a practice run with my dad because my dad's like very technologically illiterate because he doesn't do that stuff. He just kind of wants to like poke it and just make it go. So she helped him with that. But when we all got on and it was like, hi everybody, how's it going? And she's like, look at us, we're Zoomers now because we're in a Zoom meeting. And I just like died a little inside because I was like, that's
a whole new level of embarrassing.
Your mom's cool. I remember she was telling me a story about when you were young. You would be in the car, I don't know, and you'd be, listening to a tape or whatever, and she, Transformers, and she'd go, Transformers, smoke gets in your eyes, and you just fucking cringe.
I would be watching Transformers on, my little VHS tapes that we'd rent from Blockbuster, and she'd be like, yeah, that's how the song goes, right? And I'd be like, no! It's not how it goes, Mom! It's robots in disguise! God, so stupid!
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where
very, very upsetting.
Yeah, whenever my mom calls me, it's always to waste my time and yell at me about stuff she already told me.
No, actually, you know what, Joseph? A lot of the times it's, hey, do you want food? We're going out to get some delicious food.
No, a lot of the time it's her fucking... She knows what food I want. It's like... Are you getting 3 cheese nachos from Qdoba? Nope, no.
I wish my mom would at least offer at all. At least you're lucky.
No, it's a waste of time. It's just a cock tease. It's like a tongue tease here.
Okay.
So usually I just tell her that, I'm a bit horny and I need to get jerked off or something.
And then she just hangs up immediately. Your dad especially.
No.
I think you were at my house one day, and your dad was calling you, and he wouldn't get off the phone, so you're like, listen, I'm gonna fuck my friend Jake. And your dad's like, nah, shut the hell up, Joseph. And he goes, listen, old man, I'm coming inside my friend's ass tonight, and there's not a damn thing you could do about it. And then I hear the dial-up tone. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, and when I came home, he was super mad, and he thought I was gay for sleeping over. he really was. He really did think I was gay for sleeping over.
That's fucking hilarious. Honestly, do we have a recording of when your mom?
Something.
Well, I was gonna say, do we have the recording of when your mom called and you said you're like, oh yeah, I gotta put this dildo in my ass, and I just hear in the background can you believe what he just said?
No, usually
you are going to be thrown out on the street. You're going to be like this homeless person.
I think I have a few minutes of it. I don't know. It's probably on.
She was so distraught.
I have a flashback.
She was just so shocked and horrified, and at the same time I just had to think I know you do this all the time, so at what point is she gonna just stop being surprised?
Because she's very gullible and dumb. I tell her the flux capacitor in her car isn't working, and she's already about to call the mechanic.
The flux capacitor.
Yeah, it's the flux capacitor is not working.
I'm just picturing the mechanic on the other end of the line.
You cannot download an app! The printer doesn't work!
Just pinching his nose ma'am.
Yeah, because I'll pretend I'm about to answer her stupid question. She's like, what do you want? And I'm like, well, I kind of need you to lick my ass.
I have a whole 5 minutes. I just found it. Your sister and your mother just screaming at each other, and then you coming in and then fixing a problem within 10 seconds, and then walking back and say you're welcome, and then you just hear the screaming still.
Yeah, because my mom uses the computer every fucking day to go on Facebook. And she clicks on all these suspicious emails, so it's laggy, it's got issues, it's got toolbars, and it's basic stuff. Whenever I come near her laptop, she'll try and cover it and make it so I can't reach over and click any buttons, because she's so dumb. I could minimize something, and she'll be like, "You exited it out."
God. that is like, see, like for me, the line has always been, when it comes to the technological development of human beings, there's a cutoff point. And I don't know quite the age for it, but there's a test. It's any person, usually old people, who has a universal remote. One of those big universal remotes. And what you do is you push the button that says TV. There's like a row of buttons at the top, and it says like AT&T, TV, DVD, and like, I don't know, AUGs or something. And like that's, those are your universal things, so that you can have it for, the TV inputs, your cable box, your DVD player. But whenever you need to change inputs, you got to push the TV button. And so anytime you push that button as a young lad, and then you change the inputs so you can watch, a movie on their DVD player that they own and is plugged into their TV, or, God forbid, lest the walls of Jericho fall down, plug in one of those devil video game consoles, and then they pick up the remote later the next day, and they go to watch the football, and they click something to change the channel, and it doesn't work, and they say, those damned children, those blasted little imps, they've broken the remote with their confounded technology! And you walk over and you just push the AT&T button, you change the channel, and you just toss the remote gently back into their lap. You just...
Yeah,
wow.
My mom claims that this is why I'm an asshole to my mom. She's an asshole to me, okay? Where do you think I learned it from? She, like, every time something breaks, she immediately blames me. Like,
because you would destroy shit, Joseph.
No.
Hold on.
It's okay. I want to say
motherfucker.
No.
Dean literally went over to his house. The first day Dean went over to his house when they were like 13, Joseph threw like a fucking weight through his screen door and said, Dean did it, when his mom came up screaming, wondering what the sound was. And of course she knew it was him, Joseph, and not Dean, but that's really fucked to have, like, a brand new friend come over, throw something through a window, basically. What, Joseph?
Okay, no.
What did you just say?
No. She'll do stuff like overpack a drawer and tell you to be careful when opening it, whatever the fuck that means. Like, all you gotta do is pull it. And the drawer will eventually, like, get weaker and weaker every fucking day because there's, like, it's like, got heavy pots and shit on it. So one time I was gently opening it, and it fucking smashed right in front of her face. I'm like, see? This is what happens when you just pack a bunch of shit into a random drawer, and then, like, hope and praise it doesn't break. Like, she does stupid shit like that, and then something breaks.
Sometimes stuff shifts around. I got, like, pots and pans, and, like, the handles get stuck in the,
Yes, but she's literally making it so it's like a fucking U, basically. It's like bending inwards. And she's like, oh, this is fine. If somebody breaks it, it's not my fault, it's their fault. That's her. I'll open up the freezer and shit will start falling out from me opening the door. Like, what? Does she think I'm opening it so fast that I'm about to rip it off its hinges? No. It's because they keep packing random bullshit that nobody's eating in there, and then all this stuff will fall. And this is like completely hard as a brick. So I don't even bother putting it back. I'm like, if I put it back, it's gonna fall again. And I'm not gonna fucking bother with this shit. Just throw it away.
All I'm saying is the problems in the world cannot be truly solved until we, the young generation, take it upon ourselves to teach the older generation what the input button does. Okay? Now, Grandma, listen. No, stop. Put the cross away. Okay. Now, if you push the input button, right, you're changing over to the DVD player. You know, the one that you have that's already plugged in. Yes, I know someone set that up for you. Yes, I know you don't know how it works, but I'm trying to help you. No, okay, so you just push this button, right? Okay, and that changes the functions of the remotes. No, it's not that hard. Now listen, please, put down the gun! Some problems are just,
Well, no, hold on. Let me tell you.
It's like the idea that, like, a button changes what another button does. That, like, if it's just like a thing that's just two-dimensional and it's just like, okay, this button does this, this button does this. But the fact that it's like, push this button and then the buttons change, see, that's a design flaw. What they really should have done is they should have just had like a gigantic monstrosity of like 4 remotes glued together and like Fisher-Price sized buttons, and you just like, you push this one
that's a great idea.
to make the fucking DVD player and the fancy schmancy Netflix and you got your boom, you push this button right here and that takes you straight to the O'Reilly factor. Anyway.
I mean, you guys come over and you still complain about my setup being too complicated. Nick was able to do it just fine. He literally got on, hit 2 buttons. He's like, without me even like telling him, he was able to play all my shit without me knowing. So I'm like, wait a minute, you figured out how to get to the Wii U? Well, yeah, I just went to the remote and I hit these buttons and I was there. I'm like, what?
No, it wasn't the Wii. It wasn't getting to the consoles. If he got to the consoles, then he took the easy route.
What were you trying to do?
It's the remote setup with the PC that's difficult to understand sometimes, because there's an order to things, and
you gotta go. Well, no, you go to the PC and then you gotta pick up like the mouse and keyboard.
We did.
Already too many instructions there.
We did.
That's the exact.
Look,
Joseph,
man.
That's the exact same amount as the Wii U.
Man, I had Dean next to me, and if Dean
Dean's a retard. There's your problem.
Okay, you know what? Shit, you're right.
Yeah,
see the whole. Yeah, you know what?
He's not help. He'll make it worse.
I was the blind leading the blind.
And he asks questions like, Joseph and Dean always like, well, why is it like this? Like, well, if I explain it to you, you're gonna be like, well, that's too complicated, or you're gonna say, well, why is it that complicated? I'm like, well, do you actually want me to explain it to you, or do you want me to just show you how to do it? Because you always ask. No. And then if I simply explain, you're like, well, why were you going to say it's complicated? Like, well, that's part of a multi-tier set of problems, and I'm just saying that so you would shut the hell up and let me finish, or continue and fix it.
I think the answer here is that we're all boomers, and Jake is the true zoomer.
Maybe.
Yeah, Jake is the true zoomer. So let me tell you what my mom does.
Hold on.
So,
well, you want to just talk about video games now? Because
we can.
Like,
I think we can.
I want to say
we've tied such a nice, neat bow around this segment because we brought it back to the Zoomer thing, which is what started this whole shenanigans. But go ahead, ruin our perfect comedic timing, Joseph.
Don't worry, I will. So once a month or so, my mom will with some weird Middle Eastern tradition. I'll be asleep. And then she'll randomly come in and start doing this tradition where she lights some sort of weird old cup thing, like some frankincense or some
like
shit.
How you fucking just some stupid cup with some frankincense.
I don't know what the fuck is going on there. All I know is there's smoke. She's smoking up my room for some prayer thing and does a little prayer. And I'm like, I'm trying to fucking sleep. Why the fuck are you doing this in the house right now? Like, you have to do it in a room I'm in where you're doing this weird prayer thing?
She's trying to save your soul, Joseph.
Don't
you care about your immortal soul in the eyes of Allah?
Joseph is one of Satan's minions sent to Earth to bring Armageddon, alright? He's got a good place next to Satan's asshole.
Whoa.
Yep, I do.
That's a good place to be. If you're gonna be anywhere, you want to be right smack dab in Smaten's smasshole.
Smaten's smasshole.
Joseph, you had a really interesting story about guns and drugs selling in Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah. So
why don't you tell about the gun one that I was a part of, and then maybe if you have time
I'll start with that. So in Illinois, there are black people. And some of these people play Rainbow Six Siege. And I fuck with them, and they end up being very angry drug dealers. Like, what is it? I think it was about a year ago or something. I pissed off a drug dealer that was also from Illinois. And that was when Jake was playing Siege with me. And he was getting very mad that I was cocking my airsoft gun and pretending to be a gangsta.
The other guy on the call, not me. I thought it was amusing.
Yeah. So anyways, this guy is talking about how he's selling drugs and how he has a real SKS and all these guns next to him. And he's like messing around. You can clearly hear metal in the background. It's very clear that he has real guns back there.
Yeah, and Joseph's cocking a fucking plastic pistol he got from Wish.com for $4.99.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing. I'm using shitty plastic pistols that I pose with to be a fake gangsta. And he's like, I can't believe this is fucking happening. You fucking disrespected me. He's like going crazy.
He's like, yeah, that's a fake ass gun. And he's like, holy shit, he could fucking definitely tell.
Yeah. It is definitely a real guy, and I'm still fucking with him.
He's definitely cocking a real gun on the other end, and Joseph's still messing with him.
Last week, I pissed off another siege drug dealer that was also in Illinois.
No. Go to what were you guys were getting an argument about a Chicago typewriter. Or was that the next guy? Yeah.
No, that's the same guy. He was arguing about how his gun shoots 1,400 bullets a second or something. He was trying to tell us the exact rate of fire for the fucking Tommy gun, but he like misworded it or whatever the fuck, and I was just trolling him every step of the way, and he was not appreciating this, and he was describing his crimes and everything that he likes to do, like selling drugs. And if I come over to his house, he's going to spray me down with a Chicago typewriter.
That guy, he was either a really good actor or he was definitely a fucking drug dealer. Like, there's tons of tells. Like, yeah, that definitely sounds like a real gun on the other end of that mic. Yeah, the dude definitely talks like he's, like, from Chicago or, like, Southern Illinois. Yeah, the dude definitely knows a little bit about guns.
I don't know why, but a lot of people are getting high and playing Siege.
The FBI is fucking trash. All they have to do is just fucking hire fucking people like Joseph to just go on Siege and just fucking put the wiretap in, and you'll just start roping these guys up. You just get them on and you're like, give me your address, I'll come fight you. Okay, yep, alright. And then meanwhile on the line, yeah, it's XXX345.
Actually, hold on, really quick fun fact. Dueling is not technically illegal in the United States. If you say, there was like several cases that happened, one case that happened recently, like some guy's like, I don't know, he cheated on his wife. He's like, dude, come to the park right now, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. And the guy's like, dude, let's just talk about this. And it's like, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. Come to the park, and we're gonna fucking fight. So the dude comes over here with the, illusion that he's going to defuse the situation, shows up, they beat the shit out of each other, guy kind of more so beats the shit out of him. When the cops get called and everything, goes to the trial and the hearing, the guy gets off scot-free, I think, because he was technically challenged to a duel. He went to the spot where he knew he was going to get his ass kicked, and he was fighting. So you can do that. So it's great.
Yeah,
Andrew Jackson
it's hard to argue.
Yeah, but you're not going to get away with quote unquote dueling if you have a fucking Tommy gun with you.
Well, okay, that's different.
And
unless you want to do Jackson style, where you shoot
a silly Middle Eastern boy.
Did Jackson shoot someone, or did he beat someone half to death with a cane? I can't remember.
What? No, the caning was a different thing. It wasn't anyone famous on money, but Jackson did kill a guy or get killed in a duel. I am not too abreast on this, but yes, one of the founding fathers was killed in a duel. Yes. But it was one of those things where it's duels are supposed to be about how you're not a pussy, so you fucking fire the gun, but you
it doesn't
you're
matter
firing
if you
it
lost,
off at
it matters that you accepted the duel.
Well, yeah, but at the same time you're also kind of expected at this point, because it's already duels are kind of on the way out. It's kind of expected that you just kind of shoot wide or some bullshit, and for whatever reason, the other guy was convinced that oh, this is a real ass duel, he wants to kill me. And then the tragedy is that the guy who died aimed his gun off, because he's I'm pissed at you, but you're still my bro. And the other guy was I'm a fucking pow. And then he was my friend, what have we become?
First of all, this is not the duel these people are talking about, these siege drug dealers. They're talking about wanting me to show up so they can spray me down with their fully automatic weapons.
No, man, they've got two flintlock pistols in a nice wooden chest on a big pillow, and they have their slightly short manservant come out and march over to you, and you pick up one, and he picks up the other, and you walk into some alley and you go, blap, and you shoot. That's how it goes.
So
that's how it goes in these streets.
Talk about
That's how we keep it real.
Drug dealer, the other siege guy.
Well, this is another. That guy was a drug dealer, and the one from last, it was a few days ago. This is a drug dealer. So I meet this guy online in Siege, and I'm like, all right, buddy, I'm going to have to beat you up. I'm like, just saying stupid shit. And he's getting very mad. And he's like, I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to have to slap you around and shit like that. And he actually sends me his address. He adds me. He's like, all right, give me your phone number. And I give him a fake one. And then eventually I give him one to a fake texting service I have. And he starts, he sends me his address. He's like, come over here so I can wipe you out. He's getting very mad. I'm telling him, listen, I'm the #1 drug dealer in Illinois. And he's like, oh, so you're in Illinois too? Well, I'm going to drive over to where you are. Where are you? Because I'm in Illinois also. And he was getting very, very mad that I was, making up all this bullshit, and I have no knowledge about what I'm claiming to sell. But he's buying it. He's believing all this. And he's like, well, I sell drugs too. And he starts sending me pictures and shit, and, making fun of me. He's like, you probably can't even smoke more than, 2 puffs before getting knocked out.
You should have went for the car driving angle, because you probably can't drive more than 20 minutes without getting sick in the car.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community.
Eventually, I'm like, dude, I'm joking. This is all bullshit. Look, I'm a fake gangsta online, and I like pissing off Siege drug dealers. And it took him a while to cool down. And then he tried to sell me a fake gun. An illegal gun. He's like $500.
That's the best.
No,
that's the best ending to that story. You made a true friend that day. Hey man, you're cool. You want to buy this? You want to buy this gun?
Yeah, it was out of nowhere, and I'm like, all right, what gun do you have to? I really want to know what you have that you want to try and tell me now.
My man's trying to run a business. All right, it's hard out there. Got to make those connections, networking. But really,
this is weekly Siege story for you. Yeah.
U.S. government, you got to team up with Ubisoft. You've got a whole market of drug dealing and criminal connections happening in the online Siege community. You've just got to get in there.
They're all of them from Illinois for some reason.
Could you imagine just being in an online lobby and suddenly you're just like, wait a minute, I think that guy's a fucking narc. Narc 420 Blaze at 5000. Are you a narc? No.
I also went on Among Us to troll too. I went in the Among Us Discord, and I was going around the lobbies and pissing off because apparently they have official moderators, and so
oh yeah,
it's so fun trolling on their Discord.
We gotta get a game going with all of us. I know Noah can run it on his shitty laptop, but he can't. He won't. He absolutely won't.
On principle.
For work.
Yeah,
it's no longer for work. I have work now. Now it's just for Zoom calls and podcasts.
But yeah, apparently the Among Us Discord moderators do not appreciate me threatening to beat them up either. They were very mad.
You threaten to beat people up in the most casual, friendly way. It's such a boomer way of
I'm gonna
give you
a good smacking around, mister.
Because I'm threatening to beat everybody up, and the moderator joins, and he's like, all right, what's going on here? Why'd you call a moderator? And they're like, yeah, this guy's threatening to assault us all. And the moderator's like, is this true, bud? And I'm like, no, that's not true. And then they're like, it is true. He did threaten us. I have it on recording. I'm like, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna have to beat you up and beat up this moderator too. So yeah, the moderator is not happy, and I get, I changed my name a couple times and joined different lobbies, but this time I got banned from the Discord server, and then I unmute my alt account that was in there, and well, now I'm gonna have to beat you up, buddy, I'm gonna knock you out.
I'm gonna give you the old what for? I'm gonna give you the old 1-2.
Gonna just get like they're gonna find algorithms to ban Joseph off every single platform, every game, and it'll be after I've spent like $60. It'll be after I've bought like a 12-month WoW subscription or like a fucking brand new $60 multiplayer game. It's like, great, I can finally play this game with Joseph. Then he gets banned from it completely. You know.
The game isn't good if you can't troll. That's the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of good games,
plays 3 games.
You had
a game.
You
actually had a game you played. Holy fuck! Someone plays games on this podcast.
I play games. So,
I play games.
Just a quick aside. Yes, I've been playing more 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, but literally everything in that game is a spoiler. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I play that game, and I will, like, just click on a new character or their chapter or whatever,
I'm sorry, what was the name of that game?
13 Sentinels Aegis Rim.
13 Sentinels Aegis Rim.
That is very long. That's a very long name.
Yes. Anyway. I feel like I'm spoiling myself by playing it sometimes. It's that fucking crazy. Anyway. So I'm going to talk about a game that I played a while back in the meantime, and it's old as fuck, so it doesn't matter if I fucking spoil it, but I'm not going to do that anyway, because I want you to play it. I want everybody to play it, because I want everyone to suffer, as I have suffered. Jake, have you ever played a game that you love, but also hate deeply and powerfully?
Senran Kagura, Mario Sunshine. I can name several off the top of my head.
Siren, it is a PlayStation 2 game made by the Silent Hill developers after they left Konami around the time of Silent Hill 4. I think that was the last time Team Silent was even remotely a thing.
It does definitely have that vibe to it with the animations, the UI a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, and the camera work.
It's not, I wouldn't call it a survival horror game because there really aren't any quote-unquote survival elements. Like, it's obviously a horror game, but there is much less concern with inventory management. It is instead almost always an escort mission. I feel like 75% of the levels involve some form of escort mission. Maybe I'm just inflating that in my brain. It's also a quasi-stealth game, and like a multi-layered like adventure game where you're finding like solutions to problems through items, and sometimes you go through a level and it's like, okay, yeah, you did it that way, but if you go through the level a different way, or you find this one specific thing, you could unlock more. And it was coming off of the Fatal Frame games, which I really enjoyed, and I was just looking for something that was really atmospheric and horror-y, and I wasn't, like, quite prepared for, like, how good this game was at being, like, really atmospheric and really fucking interesting with its story and just like everything to do with its presentation. But I also didn't know anything about this game's reputation. It's being really difficult. Now, I feel like that's a bit of a misnomer, because yes, Siren is difficult, but it doesn't quite get across what Siren really is. Siren is the most aggravating video game I've played in a long, long time.
I can see some of the jank, the PS2 jank.
First of all,
it's fucking terrifying. I have the sound muted.
It is jank, and part of what makes it terrifying is the jankiness that they decided to create the characters. So every character in Siren has a model of a real person photographed and then mapped onto a PS2 level polygonal model.
Hold on, Joseph, what the hell are you doing?
I don't know, there's something going on.
What is... It sounds like sawing. Is someone, like, doing construction work in your house?
For fuck's sakes.
No.
Listen, you're not participating anyway, so just mute your mic.
Hold on, I just unmuted it, Because I was about to say, all you guys play are old people games.
Yes, this is a very boomer
Are you even
game.
watching the video?
I was watching the
That's how he knows it's a boomer
and then I
game.
noticed there was a mic issue.
It's okay. So, yeah, they map photographs of people onto fucking polygonal models, and it just looks fucking super fucking weird. And but part of what makes it so fucking frustrating is that, like Silent Hill, the combat is bad. Like, you are completely dysfunctional as a fighting person, which is in some ways intentional. And that's fine.
You fight like you have cerebral palsy in Silent Hill 2, which is a great game, by the way. I haven't finished it, but it's really fucking terrifying.
Yeah, this game makes Silent Hill 2 look like fucking Devil May Cry 3. Okay, when it comes to combat.
It's always your apt comparison. Oh yeah, this makes Witcher 2 look like Devil May Cry 3. This makes this game look like Devil... I can't wait for Noah's 2-hour-long conversation about why Devil May Cry 3 is the smoothest game, smoother than my balls.
It's not even my favorite Devil May Cry game. I just figured it was something the Zoomers would connect with.
Is 5 your favorite?
No, 1 is my favorite.
Oh yeah, I do like 1 a lot because of the Resident Evil stuff. It feels less like a character action game, more like a weird little experimental action game.
It's you're right. I could go into a 2-hour thing, but I'll just say I like Hideki Kamiya's design more than I like Itsuno's designs. But anyway.
Isn't that guy that I tweeted?
Yes, that is the guy you tweeted!
Yeah, I fucking told him to get back in his sushi boat or whatever if he comes.
And he was like, "Who the fuck are you, Mr. America?"
When Joseph just fucking racistly tweeted a bunch of shit at a guy and then he responded.
Yes, he did. He said, "Who are you, Mr.
You know what?
Mr. All-American?"
All Americans
I don't like him, so I'm gonna switch to my fucking Twitter alt and do it again.
Anyway, while Joseph does
I wish we did that live. Fuck.
While Joseph does, I think we did. Anyway, while Joseph does that, I'll keep talking about Siren.
He put it in, but I put it in post. We didn't get the live reaction response, which I was gonna get hard for that.
I'm glad that I could be a part of harassing my favorite video game developer, and it makes me super happy. Must be how Mike Stacklasa feels when fucking William Shatner calls him a retard.
Did he really?
Oh god, there was this whole thing where people wanted William Shatner to guest on Red Letter Media, and William Shatner was like, I don't do podcasts, because he's like, he doesn't know what it is. And they're like, no, stupid, it's not a podcast. And then he looked up a random video and he found an episode of the Nerd Crew, and he's like, this looks like a podcast to me. And they're like, no, it's an ironic thing. It's totally
parody fucking video they do that's overproduced and overmade
exactly
to make fun of people.
They're like, no, they're really legitimate. And then he grabs a screenshot of Mike wearing the fucking baseball cap and the Star Wars shirt and whatever, and holding the fucking Yoda mug. And he's like, yeah, this guy looks like a real fucking loser. And Mike's like, could you please stop messaging William Shatner? I just don't want him to shit on me anymore, okay? I can't take it.
Where did he say that? I don't think he has a Twitter, does he?
No, it was in a video they made about what was going on with William Shatner. William Shatner has a Twitter.
Who's William Shatner?
Oh my god.
He's an actor. He's an American actor.
Yeah, he's an American actor, yeah.
Yeah, he's famous for his starring role
actually good,
in a series.
I'll talk about Star Trek in a second because I haven't played anything this week. But back to... Yeah.
His big claim to fame is those commercials for the insurance claim lawyers.
Yeah. Nothing else.
Yep, that's it. Okay, Siren for the PlayStation 2 has these weird objectives where you will have to navigate through an area, and all the enemies have rifles, and they will one-shot you if you go down the wrong specific path. And you have to figure out the right path by using the game's weird, unique mechanic where you can look through the eyes of the enemies by holding a button down. So you can rather than having vision cones, imagine if you were playing Metal Gear Solid and you could literally just mind jack a guard and just see what they were looking at. But that's
it's like a reverse Ghost Recon thing. That's
that
cool.
is your only means of knowing where the things are and what they're doing. There is no mini-map, there's no Soliton radar, so you've got to navigate these fucking stealth sequences that will automatically fucking kill you or some other bullshit because your character controls like ass. And there's so many points. And at the same time, you're also trying to figure out, like, what fucking thing you need to do to complete Objective A and Objective B. Objective A will get you through the end of the story, but Objective B will get you the actual ending to the game, and this is for every single fucking level. So as you're trying to, like, go around and, like, figure something out, you'll fuck something up. Some fucking enemy will see you and fuck up your entire fucking thing. Because unlike Metal Gear, where you can just fucking, like, hide in a fucking box or some shit and wait for everyone to chill the fuck out, it's like not designed with stealth in mind, so they take, like, a really fucking long time to, like, calm the fuck down and go back to their patrol patterns. And then there are so many moments where, like, I've done that and then just fucked it up immediately after waiting for, like, 2 minutes for them to go back to their patrol pattern and just wanting to, like, throw my fucking controller. I am embarrassed.
Jank. I love it.
I am embarrassed to admit this, but I will do it because it's good content for the podcast. Playing Siren, there was a point where I was playing as a tiny little girl who has absolutely no combat capabilities whatsoever. And if she is caught by any character, it is an immediate game over, and you have to redo the entire thing. And it has one of my favorite stealth mechanics, which is wait for like 30 seconds. Joseph, you would love this game. There's a lot of waiting and doing absolutely fucking nothing. And if you fail, you'll have to wait again. Favorite. Anyway, so you'll have to, like, wait for, like, a character, like, to, like, do their patrol pattern where they'll walk up to something and they'll do something, and then they'll turn around, and then they'll walk over somewhere else, and they'll do something over there. And so you have to wait for them to fucking complete that movement, and if you get impatient and you go a little early, they'll see you, and it's an instant game over, and you have to retry. And that sequence...
I absolutely hate games like that. I hate stealth. I hate anything that includes having to wait.
That sequence made me so angry that I literally put my PlayStation 2 controller in my mouth and I tried to bite it. And I still have little teeth marks in it where I tried to literally eat my controller because I was that angry at the game.
We've all had
that was also
damaging moments.
One of my favorite moments in the game because it was such a fucking cool bit where this entire family is basically going through their normal day life, except they're all horrible monster zombies, and you're the only normal person there. So they're, like, watching TV and shit, but they're, like, fucking giggling and fucking twitching and shit, and they're all, like, fucking evil and weird, but they're also kind of a happy family that's just kind of chilling out and doing their thing. It's just that if you interrupt their procedures at all, they'll grab you and murder you. And, like, the game is filled with, like, really cool-ass shit like that, of just, like, weird-ass fucking things. And it goes places. There's a point where you, like, have an inventory of, like, hints and, like, key items you obtain. And one of the key items was a bit of, like, ancient text that you learn how to decode because you find, like, a Rosetta Stone thing later. And I decoded it, and it was a fucking website. And it was still up. And I went on my phone, and you go to the website, and you can, it's a fucking, like, fake, like, news, like, website place where it's, like, treating the events of the game like real events.
That's awesome. That means someone's still paying for the domain.
I know. That's fucking incredible. And
all these
don't do what I did, which was go out to some fucking bumfuck pawn shop or whatever and buy a PlayStation 2 copy. If you have a PlayStation 4, Siren is one of the 5... count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PlayStation 2 games that you can play on your PlayStation 4 by going to the PlayStation 2 thing and, like, downloading it for, like, I don't know, some price that's probably too much.
There were
but
too many numbers in that. So
they really dropped support of that, didn't they? Like, they just didn't put enough of those games. And they're all too expensive too. They're like
they're all too fucking expensive, and there's literally like 5 or maybe 8 of them. Like,
So wait, you're taking a PlayStation 4 game and you're playing it on the 5?
No.
no. What I was
Never
explaining, Joseph, is that you could just go out and buy the PlayStation 2 copy, but they have it available digitally on the PlayStation 4 on their store. But the also thing I wanted to bring up was the fact that I didn't know it was on the store because I just assumed it wasn't, because there's literally only like fucking 5 games on there. Like the fucking the Wrath of Kree or whatever the fuck.
The Jak and Daxter games are on there, but you can already play the HD collections on PS3 or play them on PS2 or fucking emulate them. There's like it's just
fucking
you
annoying.
pay $10 for them again. What the fuck? Why?
Because the PlayStation 2 had so many fucking games. It had so many games, and you could just fucking put them on a store, and people would just be able to download them and buy them. And things like fucking God Hand, which cost like $60 if you find them used, in a little fucking like clamshell case that's been scuffed around and eaten by a dog at some point. Still $60. But it's available on the PlayStation 3 digitally. So why can't you just get it on the PlayStation 4?
And the emulation for that is terrible. So like they need to port it over properly, like to PS4, or do the emulation. I don't know how they're doing, if it's port or emulation.
But there are PS2 games that are hard to find, and you could just make them easy. Anyway.
The other thing is that the PS4 versions, they support cloud saves and trophies, so it's like, it's a nice little up, and sometimes they actually run a little better, so they're actually nice to have, and you can actually stream them to your Vita or your or PS Now, whatever the fuck, the Remote Play. So you got extra functionality when you buy them, and yet they still decide not to port any of the fucking games over. It's ridiculous.
Anyway, to wrap up, if you think you are a true pro gamer and you want to just, if you're one of those people that like plays Dark Souls because you think it proves to everyone how big your dick is, step up to the plate and play Siren, because that game's really fucking hard and it's really fucking annoying and it'll make you want to eat your controller like I did. Or, if you're not into that feeling, if you still want to play it,
off a building.
If you still want to play it, don't have any shame in going to a guide. The game is extremely cryptic, but it's also very level-based, so it's easy to look up how to complete a level with the bonus objectives and not spoil yourself, because the guide for the level will be isolated to the level. If you want to call that cheating, that's fine, baby. I love you too. You can fucking go fucking suffer through playing Siren without any fucking guide and figure that out.
Don't play a game you just want to cheat in.
Okay.
Just you're not gonna be able to troll Noah. He's not like Dean, where he gets offended by stupid.
You are truly correct.
Rhetoric.
If you want to play Siren, you should cheat like a little bitch, because human beings are pussies and they're not up for the challenge that this game proposed to them. Because the story goes some really crazy fucking interesting places, and if you still cannot be asked to even do that, find like one of the like full playthroughs or something that just goes and covers all the content. Don't find some fucking pussy who's like, oh, I'm gonna play this fucking random fucking PS2 game. Whoa, I got to this ending. It didn't make any fucking sense, but throw it in the trash. One of those people, like an IGN reviewer, who will like get to ending A and near and be like, yeah, fucking 6 out of 10, bye.
Wait, really?
Too much water.
Did that actually happen? Or like,
I'm just assuming that happened, because that's a very easy thing to assume. I do know, in the case of Nier Automata, where it explicitly, at the end of the like first time the credits roll, it says, hey, there's more content. You should check it out.
Well, Drakengard does that too, so how's... I'm assuming Nier 1 does as well, if not Automata and Drakengard.
Maybe
1.
Wasn't it IGN that rated a Pokemon game like 7.3 out of 10 or something
for too much water? Yes, that is another meme. But anyway, all I'm saying is someone saw that warning and ignored it and reviewed the game lower and talked about how, like, I don't know why everyone's talking about how this story is so crazy. I didn't see any of it. Anyway. Classic video game reviewer troll. They got us. So fucking Siren's a good game. I hate it. You should
Well,
play
I
it.
rate
It's a
it
fucking
0
nightmare.
out of 10.
Yeah, you don't like the graphics. It's all about because Joseph's a graphics whore and he only plays 2 games a year.
It's one of the coolest games I've played. I rated a 2 out of 10.
I play many games. 5 games, in fact.
Shadow the Hedgehog. Okay, there's
No,
one.
no.
Gary's Mod.
No,
There's 2.
no.
Call of Duty, all of them. Let's just count that as 1. It's a franchise. Rainbow Six Siege. That's 4.
Sub Rosa.
For Sub Rosa, yeah, there you go. And any other early access garbage.
You know what? We should
Squad,
count.
and that's it, basically.
Yeah,
we should
early
count
access
each
for a while.
of Shadow the Hedgehog's 16 endings as a different video game.
That is true. That is true. That we should if we're all in the same room, we should stream one of those games, some Sonic games. Unironically, they're very cool in a way. They got
would
that
like
edge
to
them. They
see-
got some nice level design. Some of them have good controls. A lot of them have great music and atmosphere.
I want to see you and Joseph sit down and play through the entirety of one Shadow the Hedgehog playthrough, just so you can sit
I didn't
there.
even complete it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I never completed it.
Oh my god! I was gonna sit here and fucking talk about how it'd be really funny to have Jake walk you through this experience while you would continuously talk about, like, no, it's not that bad, Jake, shut up.
Yeah,
and
then,
then,
yeah.
And then
That's
you're
not-
sitting
No, I
here and
never
you're telling me that you
there's
never
rarely a
even
game I
fucking
even
finished
complete
this
mostly.
game after you spent, like, the other podcast talking about how it was the shit. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god.
I
Just
want to
what
do
you
the same
think.
thing with Dean and Mario Sunshine, which I downloaded. Actually, I guess I could talk about that. I was going to talk about Star Trek, but it's not a
Okay,
game.
talk
And
about
also
Mario
the same-
Sunshine.
Sorry, what?
Talk about Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, so, I have been playing it a lot more. So, Mario Sunshine, I'm a big GameCube guy. I love the fucking Nintendo GameCube. Noah's the PS2 guy, I'm the GameCube guy. We need another guy here that's like an Xbox guy, and then we'll have the trifecta, then we'll have the drooling retard that is the Dreamcast. Like, I'm still relevant.
No, I
Dreamcast
thought
is
the
great games.
the drooling retard is the fucking Xbox guy.
No, the
Shut
Xbox
up,
is
guy.
dope as fuck.
Yeah, okay.
You don't fucking talk. Maybe I am the Xbox guy too. I didn't have one, but I fucking loved it in high school. I got one in high school. Fucking
Yeah,
it was
fucking
amazing.
play some Fusion Frenzy, why don't you fucking dweeb?
All the ports were better. The graphics were better. The frame rate was better. The online was better. There were.
Your controller's fucking
Oh,
big.
I'm sorry. I want to play Battlefront 2 multiplayer at more than 15 frames per second in split screen without a layer of fog surrounding my fucking view distance. You can't play Battlefront 2 multiplayer on PS2. You can't.
Yeah,
even
you
play
can.
with 4
I
people.
did it all
Yeah.
the time. It just proves I'm a more hardcore
It was
gamer
it was
than
garbage.
you.
It was fucking garbage. Me and Aaron tried to
That's
play
an
it like
increased
not too long ago, and we
difficulty.
thought it was trash. We played the Xbox version, the original, and we could do 4-player, 30 FPS per screen, and it was perfectly fine. No draw distance issues. The PS2
The
literally
draw
has layers of
distance
fog.
provides extra challenge. Okay, it's something. It's a
Extra
little
challenge.
something.
I
called
can't wait to read the
nuance.
real animation.
Okay,
Takes like 6 seconds.
It's only for the real
the rocket
gamers who
troop.
want a real extra challenge in their gamer experience, okay? I
PS2
understand, like, it's not something a casual would really appreciate, so I totally get it. But, that's really what the Xbox is all about.
And it had great first-party games. You had weird shit like Blinks and Voodoo Vents.
Shut the fuck up about Blinks. Don't you fucking bring Blinks into this house. You leave
Voodoo Vents
Blinks.
is a pretty cool game.
You leave Blinks where he belongs.
You had some really cool PC ports, KOTOR 2. You had, God, what was that one from BioWare? The fucking Ninja one. Anyway, Xbox is a great system. It's not the drooling retard. It's a great, great system. Dreamcast is even pretty cool. It was just
No, you're
really
right. It's not the
underpowered
drooling
nowadays with the
retard, but
Wii
it
U.
is absolutely. It's the Chad. It's the guy who walks in the room and he's like, "Fuck yeah, bro! It's got a fucking Xbox. Hell yeah! It was the biggest.
Or
I
instead
bought
of
it because it
being
was
poor,
the
you could
biggest
just get a
console, just
PC.
like my penis." Stacy comes. Okay, here's what's going on, Jake. Here's what's happening. All right, you're sitting there and you're holding.
spiraling out of control from Mario Sunshine.
You're holding your GameCube, right? And I'm holding my PS2 Slim on its nice little stand, right? And then Chad walks up, and Chad's got his fucking big-ass Xbox that's, like, curving up at the top, because it's literally bursting with green ooze Xbox power. and Stacy's gonna look at you, and she's gonna be like, okay, yeah, he's got like his little fucking lunchbox, whatever, gay.
Little toy with the
little
handle.
Toy,
yeah,
little
purple,
toy with a little handle.
purple.
Sorry, I'm in a men. She's gonna see my PS2 all slim and skinny, and she's gonna be like, yeah, sorry, that's just too small for me. And then she's gonna walk over to fucking Chad,
What about the PS2
and she's
fat?
gonna be
hold
like,
on. What about the PS2 fat?
PS2 fat? She's like, sorry, I don't date people who are as old as my dad. What is that? It's some kind of fucking VCR? Oh my god. That's what
It did come out first, didn't it? It was the first one, aside from the Dreamcast, to come out, so it works.
I think, yep. And then she
And then
sees the Xbox, and she's like,
The
oh my
Chad
god,
box.
the controller's so fucking big. Oh my god, I don't know if I can handle it. And he's like, I'll
then,
fucking
like-
make you handle it, babe.
And then for,
We should play some Fusion
yeah.
Frenzy later. And she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking come. I fucking love Fusion Frenzy. It gets me so hot.
Although, to be fair, not defending the Duke, I've never used it. That thing looks like a piece of shit. But the Xbox S controller, for the original Xbox, that is the most comfortable controller I've ever used. And it's the best. I like it actually more than the GameCube controller.
Wow.
Which is surprising because I have sex with that thing every day.
I was gonna say, like,
yeah.
if the GameCube controller was Rumpelstiltskin, you'd be like, yeah, I'm not guessing that fucking name. You can just have my children.
Anyway, Mario Sunshine.
Mario Sunshine.
It's relevant for all the other console. Compared to
Well,
the
what's
other
the difference
consoles.
between Mario Sunshine and all the other Mario games?
Mario Sunshine?
You have a hose.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so Mario Sunshine is so the whole selling point was like, okay, you're on a tropical island, there's water everywhere, like there's bodies of water, and you got this flood pack attached to your back, and you can go in the water, suck some water up, and then you can use the flood pack to spray water at enemies or hover. And that was a big mechanic. There's all this colorful graffiti all over the island that you gotta clean up. There are these enemies that are coming out of this graffiti that you gotta, like, spray with your water pack. There's upgrades for your water pack to travel. One's like a super fast, like, vortex thing that you can, like, go underwater with. You go and just, like, shoot all around everywhere. And it works for some platforming where you have to jump long distances. And then you have the rocket pack to get you higher up. But you're mainly using the spray and hover. Mario Sunshine is one of those games where you get a lot of nostalgia for it. You can see, like, as soon as you start it up, you're like, you got that tropical island theme. You got a bunch of new, like, Isle Delfina's got all these new, like, cool character designs. And then you got, like, this fucking awesome, like, this tropical music theme going on in the background. It's one of the aesthetic of this game. I'm really pissed at Nintendo for, like, releasing in that stupid All-Stars collection and not doing anything. Not making it 60 FPS, not remastering it, not making it 1080p. You can make it look really good in Dolphin, but it's one of those games where if you remaster it, I think that it would be a pretty decent game to play nowadays. But in my opinion, it's not very good. It's like one of those games where, like, you see it as a kid and you're like, oh man, this is cool, and then you go to it as an adult and like, oh my god, fuck this stupid game. There's two essential problems with it. The first is the level design, and the second is for anyone wanting to do the 100% completion. If you want to just get to the game start to finish, and you're a big GameCube nut, it's worth playing once. But if you're the type of person who wants to, like, 100% it, or if you want to replay it, it's got a lot of really terrible levels, and the levels that you can skip, like, the whole point of the game is that you go to different areas, and you have to, you got 8 levels, 8 shine sprites from each area, and each area is, like, super unique, and it's really cool, but the bosses are terrible. It's filled with filler and padding.
I just don't understand, like, how people like Mario. I like Mario Party, but then, like, Mario
Because you
games.
suck at platformers and you never tried to get good at them. You literally spent 10 minutes in Castlevania trying to climb a flight of stairs in Castlevania, and it was too
that
complicated.
Was the biggest challenge. Okay, it was very complicated.
You didn't know.
You have to press a button.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about, like, the early Castlevania?
Yeah, where you
Okay,
couldn't climb
in Joseph's
stairs.
defense, climbing stairs is really fucking hard in that game.
What do you mean? You go up to it and you
Yep,
hit up. Or you
that's
hit
right.
up and right on the D-pad.
No,
No, that's
You're walking
difficult.
and then you walk up it.
That's a challenge. It's hard.
Oh, we got a Symphony of the Night baby over here.
Yeah, I'm a big Symphony of the Night baby. I love Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, me too, but you know what? I like the older ones better.
It's a nice little fat fucking titty that just like goes up to your mouth and you just snuggle up with that titty and you're just like, man, this titty's so soft. And then like somewhere over there you're sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, well I've got this fucking this fucking big ass dildo that's like fucking got little ridges on it and it'll fucking pleasure your butthole and you want me to fucking smack you around with this shit?
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
But I got this fat little titty right here and it's just so snuggly and warm, and when I play it I feel like a little baby sitting at my friend's house watching him play through it and being like, oh my god, this game's so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, until, you get to a part where there's a boss fight, 10 minutes from a checkpoint, where you have to go through a gauntlet of stupid enemies that chip you down in health, and then you just get to the boss, then you get killed, so you have to restart. What is it with you and liking shitty fucking stupid games with like the fucking... Oh yeah, there's no checkpoints, it's you have to return to where you saved. Oh man, that's such great... I love that. I fucking love that.
You're supposed to... It's about the encounter as a whole, and not just the boss fight. You're expected to complete the
It's literally
encounter
there's literally one part in Symphony of the Night that I'm referring to. It's like fucking 3 of the same. It's copy pasted hallways. There's actually several parts of it. Copy pasted hallways.
Hallway in the middle of the castle.
It's like in the first 2 hours, 3 hours of the game.
That will travel you across the thing. I replayed Symphony of the Night recently.
You're like going to the rafters,
and it was the best. And
yeah, it's great when after you played it and memorized and gotten through all the shitty parts that fucking kill you, because now you're better at it.
That's part of the experience. But also, I hadn't played it since I was a wee lad in like fucking high school, so I swear off any skills I might have retained in that game. And the only flaw I could think of is like, yeah, this game's... As it goes on, it gets pretty fucking easy. But, I guess that just makes you one of those casual Xbox gamers who doesn't like to play with the added challenge of the PlayStation 2 gamer fog.
Anyway, Mario Sunshine, I'll wrap it up. It's it's one of those games where like you play it and like the first immediate problem with it is the controls, and the controls are actually superb. Like you learn like every in and out of like Mario's like jumping controls. Like he's got triple jumps, he's got backflips, he's got like these whoa yippee like fucking three jumps hitting the ground. You know what I'm talking about. And
it's augmented by the pack in some ways. Like I saw how you could like spray it and you can use that to like slide on like kind of a water slide.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was kind of cool.
Water in front of you, jump on it, slide, get more to your slide. You can when you're doing the triple jump and spinning, you can actually slap the right trigger. One of the few games that uses the analog triggers for the GameCube. It's essential for this game, and it's actually been fucked in the Switch version. But you can actually, like, when you're doing that triple jump, you spin your analog stick 360s, and then you can build up momentum to do the spin, and he has his own animation for it, but if you click the right trigger, you'll do, like, a water spin, and that, like, just decimates enemies. It's really fun to use. So, like, you could just... The way the water physics work when you're jumping is awesome. It's really fun to just jump around in place and just abuse the fuck out of the engine.
But part of the problem, I understand, because my experience with Mario Sunshine was playing it in, like, the built-in daycare at the grocery store, which was called Giant Eagle. But the little daycare thing was called the Eagle's Nest. And they had a Spider-Man game, they had Mario 64... And they had, I think, like a demo or something for Sunshine. Because I remember there was some point
kiosks
where, like, you couldn't quite get to the ending, or, like, anywhere in the level. It was just, like, one place. Nobody could really figure out. But it was just kind of, like, there. But most of the kids were on that, so you weren't allowed to play that, because they'd be like, fuck off, little shit, I'm playing. Anyway. My other bit of knowledge comes from watching Matthew Matosis videos. And I understand part of the problem is that the hover... means that, like, it's cool in concept to be able to hover, but then when you want to create a platforming challenge, it's like, well, we got to account for the fact that you can just hover to things, so we've got to, like, stretch out the levels to make the gaps wider to force you to hover across them, because otherwise it would just kind of defeat the challenge of doing the regular jumps. is that sort of something that comes into play when you're...
Actually, I disagree with that. The problem with Mario Sunshine is that, so yeah, the Flood Pack should play a big part of that. And yes, you do have, like, these bigger jump areas. The best part of Mario Sunshine was when you enter a level and you can just, like, go at it, get the blue coins, find the yellow coins for, like, the 100 Shine Sprite, and just kind of work with all this crazy level geometry, all your jumps and your water pack. The problem is that when each level... So you enter a world... Sorry, I should say it like this. You enter a world, and you have all this stuff, and then there's 8 levels. So you enter a world to enter a level. And those levels have different layouts. And this is why 100%ing is such a pain in the ass, unless you get this mod called Sunburn. When you enter the level, there's different coin placements. So each level, you have to go in and find all the blue coins if you want 100% it. So, that's its own thing. But the issue is, so when you enter one of these levels, it'll say, it'll give you a little cutscene, and it'll say, you have to go here to actually start the level. Here's the world that you can jump around in with the Flood Pack, but then sometimes you're funneled to this area, and then it starts the actual level. And it's a set of platformers. These platformers look super basic. It looks like a fucking alpha game. But almost every time, when you trigger this level, Shadow Mario comes in and he takes away your Flood Pack. And this happens a lot. A lot. And the problem is you're jumping on these shitty alpha-looking platforms, from a fucking early alpha, and the depth perception, I don't know what it is, but, my brain turns to mush. Because the Flood Pack and the jumping is great together, but as soon as you remove the Flood Pack, it feels like a shittier 64, or a shitty Mario game. You have a lot of rotating and moving platforms, and I gotta tell you, anything you jump on that moves or rotates is that just moves around, not just moves in place, but moves around, is just fucking busted. Especially rotating platforms that are, sometimes you have to stand on wheels and they'll take you to a destination, so you have to balance your way on them. And literally, any reason, you fucking just, if you're not dead center sometimes, Mario will just slip off into the abyss, and you can't save yourself because you don't have the Flood Pack. If they just gave you the Flood Pack, or removed, for those parts, or removed the fucking stupid-ass rotating platforms, which account for 90% of the game's difficulty, honestly...
Yeah,
then the game would be fine.
I was looking at some footage of that, and I'm trying to picture, it is pretty ambiguous what counts as something you can stand on and something that is going to cause him to slide.
It's just ridiculous.
See, that's also why I hate platformers, because you're not just fighting enemies, you're also fighting the platform itself.
But that's the point, Joseph. It's why it's a platform.
That's not fun when you're fighting the map. I hate fighting the map.
You're fighting the map in Call of Duty when you're trying
I hate it in fucking... video games too, when they start throwing shit at me a bridge is about to fall.
I hate good things.
That's not why I'm here. I don't want to have to dodge all this bullshit.
So the biggest problem is that the Flood Pack is underutilized. With this leads to the Flood Pack's underutilized, and on top of that too, when you have the actual fucking levels where you can use the Flood Pack, or areas in the game that are you enter a world and you can get a bonus Shine Sprite, or you enter the hub world and you can maybe get all the Shine Sprites around you. Again, this goes to the 100%ing. You can beat the whole game. I'm sorry. The way you beat the game is you go to each level and you complete 7 levels. Shadow Mario is on the 7th level. You chase him down, you spray him with water. It's the stupidest, easiest, pathetic way. All the bosses in this game suck. There's maybe 1 or 2 good ones. All of them fucking suck. So you go to these levels, you beat a few bosses. The 7th level has Shadow Mario. You beat him on every single level, and then the final level opens, and that's when you can beat Bowser. So that means that every bonus Shine Sprite, every Shine Sprite that is not, fuck, hold on, I think my door just opened, I'm sorry.
Welcome to the Islamic State podcast.
If you would like to join the Islamic State, please call 555-555-5555 right now for your free ISIS membership.
Anyway, that means that every Shine Sprite that isn't level 1 through 7 is completely wasted. You only get them for the 100% completion, which just gives you a screen that says, congratulations. It doesn't give you anything. It doesn't even give you a cool unlock that you can use. It just says, congratulations. So that means that all the bonus ones are the ones you use the Flood Pack for. Finding out where the shine sprites are in bonus levels and using the flood pack? Well, guess what? Fuck you! It means nothing. Yeah. It's literally meaningless. There was a mod that just came out recently. I'm actually going to play it. I've been playing a little bit of it. It's called Super Mario Sunburn. Yes. It's a mod for the you can use it on Dolphin and Wii and even GameCube. And I even got, for the GameCube version, or the Dolphin version, I actually got separately a widescreen 60 FPS hack. They were actually going to release the game in 60 FPS originally, but they capped it to 30. And I'm thinking it's a good time. What they did was they took the blue coins and they just made it so that you can enter a world and you can get all the blue coins like in one instant if you want. You don't have to look up a fucking guide. The red coins are immediately there. The yellow coins, some levels that you would enter, if you wanted to get the 100 coins for a shine sprite, some levels, level 1 through 8, 1 through 7, whatever, they wouldn't have enough coins, depending on the level. You wouldn't know this. So you collect like 70 coins, like, oh, that's all the coins. So they added more coins, so it's easier to 100% the game, and on top of this too, they made the levels flow better, so you can actually collect a shine and it won't boot you back to the hub world. You can actually go to those levels. You don't have to jump into a portal. You can actually just swim there or take a boat. And the levels are connected better, and you can do areas completely out of order. It's amazing. It's like a really cool mod that I gotta try out. Cool. And there's even bonus levels, and and they actually give you a reason to collect the bonus shine. So that's what I will be playing, and I have been playing Sunshine. So I figured out about that mod about a couple hours into my playthrough of Sunshine. So
well, there you go.
Anyone have anything else to add?
No, I think that's a podcast.
I'm hungry. I want to have that.
I want to have my burger.
I wish I had some fresh bubble gum.
Oh. Don't you like your old bubble gum?
No, because it's getting to the point where it's like too dry.
Then why do you fucking preserve it?
Bubblegum is king. Okay, it's like a god. It's a god in my religion.
All right, cool.
Understand.
Joseph, you got an outro
That's
for
fucking
us?
Gross.
Yeah. Let me get my cup.
Get your cup.
There you go.
Low effort as always. I wouldn't expect anything else. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Adios, Mexicans.